Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to take a look at the HeimVision HM202. Oh wait, you already are. Keep watching to find out even more. Okay, so this is the HeimVision HM202, a IP-based 1080p camera. Now, before I get into this, I quite like the name, HeimVision. Now, I'm hoping that it comes from a derivative of Heimdall, which is one of the characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and also I think it's a mythical Norse god who was all-seeing and could see into the dark and see into the future, and was basically known as a form of protector. Which, if that is the case, then HeimVision is actually a pretty darn good name for this particular product. So you're probably thinking, Mike, you've done a lot of IP cameras, why are you doing this one? Well, this actually comes with a couple of neat features which I've not seen in other cameras for the same price point, and also even for more expensive cameras. So let's go through some of the specs. Now, first of all, this is a PTZ camera. Now that stands for pan, tilt and zoom. So you've got a 355-degree pan, you've got a 95-degree tilt, and also you've got a 4x digital zoom. As would be expected with a security camera, this camera works in 1080p in both daylight and complete darkness, thanks to the built-in IR sensors, which have a 15-meter reach. And one of the first things I like about this is the fact that the setup is actually done either on a phone or on a device of some sort, Mac, iOS, but you can also use it with PC. So if you're one of those people who maybe doesn't have your device with you all the time, and maybe you're a company owner and you want to keep an eye on your stock room or whatever, and you've got your PC at hand, you can actually view this through a PC app, which for me is fantastic. So anyway, we had a quick talk about some of the specs. Let's take it out of the box and see what we actually get. Okay, so to start with, you get your usual card. Are you happy? All the contact details, should there be any problems, you can use that. You get your setup manual. You get the camera itself, which I think is amazingly cute. Now you can see in this one, my SD card is already in there because I have been playing with this already, but I want to go through the unboxing process to show you what you actually do get. And also you get an accessory box, which in the accessory box, again, is actually one of the other nice features of this particular setup. So you get in the accessories box, you get your wall plug, which is always nice to see. You get a USB micro type connector. So this is really good news. If you've got the camera and you want it to be in a slightly out of the way place, you don't have to use a specific cable. You can just grab another micro USB cable of a longer length and you can connect it how you wish to. Also, should the cable become damaged in any way, super easy to get a replacement cable. So you get some wall plugs and some screws for mounting. You get this really great handy little mounting bracket so you can attach the camera. The camera up on bottom, it's actually got your standard quarter thread jack or thread mount, so you can connect it to a tripod or other types of things, but also this handy little device. So you can mount this to a wall, mount the camera to it, and you can also mount it various different ways, sideways, upside down, all that kind of stuff. The camera will actually invert the footage so it looks normal when you play it back on your device. All great stuff. Also, you get like a horseshoe bracket as well, which you can just literally put onto a wall, so you can mount this flat up against a surface such as this and still use it as you would normally. All included straight out of the box. Fantastic. So we've got it all out of the box. Let's go through some of the specs on the box. So key features: advanced night vision mode, as we discussed, handy two-way audio. Now this actually you can use as a communication device as well. So if you're using it to maybe monitor a child or monitor some kind of activity in your workplace, maybe a stock room, something like that, you can actually talk directly through it, which is brilliant. It has intelligent tracking, which is something which some of these cameras actually do not have. The intelligent tracking is basically if you walk through the field of view of where the camera is looking, it will track you and follow you as you move around that place. Again, fantastic for things like stock rooms, or maybe you've got it monitoring a certain area in your house where you don't want people to be. It will monitor you, and also it will send you alerts. So you can configure it so that there is an alert sent to your mobile device if someone crosses through those areas. Also, there's an option within the camera itself to actually have a siren. So if you turn the siren trigger on, if somebody does walk through that field of view where the camera is looking, not only will you get a notification, they will get a notification that they're being watched and the camera has been alerted. So intelligent tracking, intelligent motion and sound detection. So not only will it detect movement, it will also detect sound. So if it's in an area where there's movement but not meant to be sound, then you can have it so there's a sound detection, again, for a baby crying, something like that, absolutely perfect. You've got support for MicroSD card, and there's also an additional cloud service which you can subscribe to. Again, totally personal preference. I personally prefer to have things all on an SD card just to keep the cost down. But if, for instance, you're with a company and you want to have it as part of a cloud service, as part of your security system, then you can offset the cost of the cloud against your business, which is a great option. Now for connectivity, it supports AP hotspot connection. So when you're trying to set it up, it actually has its own built-in hotspot. So if you don't have Wi-Fi available where you are, you can still set it up. And the last part is you can watch videos from your web browser on your PC. Again, this is a feature which a lot of the cameras like the Xiaomi Dafang, etc., do not have. This, you can go to a website, which I'll link in the description below. You can check it out. Literally, whatever's on your camera, you can go there, check it all out, change settings, all that kind of stuff. So we've gone through the specs, we've unboxed it. Best thing to do now is go through the setup process. Okay, so when you first get the device set up and powered up, there is actually a pin included. You shouldn't need to use it, but you can do. I'm going to press the reset button, which is on the top of the device.
Reset success.
And then you get the reset success message.
Please configure your camera by AP hotspot or scanning code.
Okay, so that's the message you should get when you first start up. Now what you need to do is go over to your Android or iOS device and you need to install the application, which is YCC 365 Plus. So the YCC 365 Plus, you've got the option to install it and open, etc. So I've already got it installed, so let's go ahead and open. Now the installation setup process for the actual application is really straightforward. All you need to do is set up a user account with an email address, password. They will then send you a verification just to make sure that that's okay. Click on the verification and your account will be activated. So let's go ahead and open the application. And the first thing you're greeted with is a guide. So there is a starter guide built into the application. So should you not quite follow the instructions that either I'm giving you or from the quick start manual, there is actually another guide here. But what I'm going to do is click on the plus button at the top to add a new device, and you get to choose what you want to add. Now I'm going to add the intelligent camera, and then you get the three options of adding a device by scanning the code, by network cable, or by a AP hotspot. Now this particular model, the HM202, doesn't have the network cable option, so we're going to go with the first one, which is scanning the code. So once you've connected on and heard all the things about connection, you can go for it, and we'll choose connect to the network. So I'm going to put in my Wi-Fi password. Now this does have to be on the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. It doesn't support 5 gigahertz, but as with most routers these days, you can quite easily disable the 5 gigahertz temporarily if you need to set up. So that'll give you a QR code, and then you can put the QR code in front of the camera. Sometimes you might need to move it around a little bit to get it to actually see it. Then you hear the beep and you get the notification on the screen.
Wi-Fi connecting.
So there we go, now it's connecting to the Wi-Fi.
Internet connecting. Internet connected. Welcome to use cloud camera.
So there we go, activation is successful. Now you can select where you want this to be, so I'm going to say this is in the office, and actually I'm going to give it a name, so let's call it Mike's Unboxing. So there we go, once the device is set up, you get a nice little visual representation of where it is and what it can see. It just takes a brief snapshot, and that snapshot updates itself every now and then, as you can see. So if we go into the camera itself, and you can see at the moment the camera is actually looking towards the area over there. So let's get it to try and track my hand. And there we go, now it's picked up on me, and as you can see it's recording me at the same time. So what we can do now, say for instance you want to take a snapshot, you can press on the snapshot button, and that saves the snapshots into the storage device on your mobile device. So not onto the actual SD card in the camera, but actually on your own device. So say for instance there's something going on and you record it or take a snapshot, and for some reason the camera gets damaged or stolen or whatever, you're still going to have the physical backup of that information on your own personal device. So options we've got on this now, you can change the quality from SD to HD, which will increase the amount of bandwidth used, but will also give you a better image. You've got the option for a microphone, so you can have the two-way conversation. Sound, you can either mute or whatever you want to do. At the moment, I've got my phone turned right down, so I'm not getting the feedback loop through. But normally when you have volume on, I would be hearing what I'm saying to the camera, as you probably saw in the intro to the video. Now, other options we've got are device name, the time zone, which is great for this particular model. With the Xiaomi Dafang cameras, we were finding that the whole Chinese mainland China thing was beginning to be a real pain and causing a lot of problems for people. So if you're one of the Xiaomi Dafang users and you're looking to maybe have a slightly simpler life, this is definitely going to be an option for you. You can turn the device off at certain times. So if, for instance, it's in your home and you've got it maybe in your living area and you want it turned off during the time that you're home, because your family are kind of a bit creeped out by it or whatever, you can just go ahead and turn it off between certain times or disable it altogether. You can turn off the microphone into the device. So if you're a bit concerned about privacy and you don't want your voice being recorded or sounds being recorded, you can turn it off. Obviously, if you turn off the device microphone, that also will stop off your sound alerts. So just bear that in mind. The alarm tone. So if I turn this on briefly, you can hear the alarm tone. Turn that back off. So if somebody walks through, like I said, the field of vision, you'll hear that alarm sound, and obviously you would hope that an intruder would take notice of that and quickly make their way out of your office or storeroom or home or wherever it may be. So night vision, you've got automatic night vision. You can toggle that if you want to have either enabled or disabled. Image rollover 180, so if you've got your device mounted in the supplied bracket and it's upside down, you can flip the image 180 so you get to see the image as it's meant to. The intelligent tracking, as it's doing at the moment, if you want to, you can turn that off altogether, and then you can just choose to move it either manually, you can just twist it, or alternatively in the application, you can just swipe around to get it to be wherever you want it to be. And when you do turn off intelligent tracking, it actually will go back to its default location, which is something which we'll get onto in a little bit more. Things like firmware, application types, idea types, all that's available. The anti-flicker, so if you're in a different part of the world, you've got 50 Hz or 60 Hz, you can choose between the two to get a better picture. So motion detection, we've got sound detection, we've got push notifications, so you can get it so that it will send them a notification to your device, etc., all that kind of stuff, or you can get it to send you an email. Device storage, currently at the moment I've got it set to SD card, or at least I will be setting it to SD card. And also the memory card recording mode. Now this is actually one which is a little bit of a pain for some of the Xiaomi cameras where you're not really sure what it's actually recording. So with this you can set it so there's all day recording, so continual recording. Now this will support up to 128GB device. So again, lots and lots of storage room on there. Or if you're using a slightly smaller SD card, like an 8GB or 16, you can choose just for event recording. So i.e. when there's a sound heard or there's some movement heard. Or alternatively, you can turn it off altogether. Your choice. Actually, I'm going to set that to event recording. Play videos from, you can choose wherever the videos are played from the cloud or from the memory card. So let's change that from the memory card. So now if you get a notification onto your device and it says there's been some movement or sound has been detected, you can go into the application and you can replay that information directly from the SD card in the camera. And as you can see now, I've gone in there, it says you've missed 3 alarms. So it's already notified, as we heard the alarm went off earlier, so we had a notification that something was going on. So let's change the actual where this camera is looking. So again, you just swipe through the application. And it will generally be very responsive and go to where you want it to go. Now I've actually gone to the limit there. So where the Wi-Fi pole is on the back, or the antenna, that is the limit of your field of view. So 355 degrees of pan available on there. As you see, I was looking through the Mic's Unboxing Studio there. So what we can do, if I scroll up a little bit more, now you can actually choose, so you can choose a preset. So if you click on the crosshair, so let's say this preset, so let's call this a preset, so we'll call this mic, if my keyboard would work. So mic, and we'll save that. So let's spin round. And just over in that corner over there, oh, gone a little bit too far. So behind the camera over there is another area that we want to monitor. So we'll call that the window. And if we come around a little bit further, see if we can pinpoint that a little bit better. So that is the door. So if we choose door. So now when we go into the camera, we've got our 3 presets. So if you've got this in an office or something, and there's specific areas like entryway, exit, stock room, whatever, you can just click on it and it will go to the preset when you click on it. So rather than you actually hunting around, or if the camera's actually watching another area, you can turn off the motion tracking and manually go to the areas. So I'm going to get it to now find me. And let's go back and have a look at the doorway. And there we go, all pretty cool. So I think that's pretty much as I can show you at the moment. There are other features which I'm finding on a daily basis, but I find this to be a really good piece of kit. I am going to leave the video after I've signed off with some footage of actual camera footage from here, from both day and night time, so you can get a real good idea of what it will look like on a larger device, or actually on your device. So that's it. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comments section below. But in the meantime, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and this has been the pretty cool HeimVision HM202. Thanks for watching. Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to take a look at the HeimVision HM202. Oh wait, you already are. Keep watching to find out even more.